Have you ever heard of a man who stepped into a taxi and was never seen again? In the summer of 1930, New York City was a city of flashing lights, jazz clubs, and speakeasies. But hidden beneath the glamour, a mystery unfolded that would baffle America for generations. A well-known judge, Joseph Force Crater, vanished into thin air. No trace, no clues, no witnesses. Just a rising star in the judicial world, swallowed whole by the shadows of history. This is the haunting tale of the disappearance of Judge Joseph Force Crater, America's most famous missing person. Let's step back to the heart of the Roaring Twenties, where power, corruption, and ambition danced a dangerous tango. Judge Joseph Force Crater was no ordinary man. Born in 1889 in Pennsylvania, he was the embodiment of the American dream, sharp-minded, politically connected, and rising fast through the ranks. By age 41, he had climbed the ladder of success to a prestigious appointment to the New York State Supreme Court by then-Governor Franklin D. Roosevelt himself. He was charming, well-dressed, and always seemed to know the right people. But with great power often comes dangerous company, and even more dangerous secrets. On August 6, 1930, Judge Crater returned to New York from a vacation in Maine, leaving his wife behind. He said he had important business to handle, and would be back in a few days. But that return never happened. On the morning of August 6th, Crater spent time in his office, shredding documents and arranging financial matters. He withdrew over $5,000, an enormous sum at the time. He then visited his barber, bought a theater ticket, and had dinner with a friend and a showgirl named Sally Lou Ritz at Billy Haas's Chop House in Manhattan. Around 9 p.m., he waved goodbye, hailed a cab, and disappeared forever. He was never seen again. At first, no one noticed. He was a busy man after all. His wife assumed he was delayed with work. His staff thought he was traveling. But after 10 days of silence, panic set in. Newspapers exploded with the story. The vanishing judge made national headlines. Investigators were baffled. No ransom notes, no body, no clues. It was as if Crater had been erased from existence. So what happened to Judge Crater? The theories are endless. Some say he ran away, others believe he was murdered, still others think he fell victim to the very corruption he was surrounded by. Let's dive into the possibilities. Theory 1. He chose to disappear. Some investigators speculated that Crater, caught in financial and political pressure, simply walked away from his life. He had access to money, connections, and intelligence. Could he have started a new life under a different name? Maybe in South America? Canada? But would a man of such ambition abandon a high-profile career just after being appointed to the Supreme Court? His close colleagues didn't think so, and his wife Stella never believed he'd leave her without a word. Theory 2. Political assassination. In the 1930s, New York politics were a minefield of backdoor deals and shady characters. Crater was known to have close ties to Tammany Hall, the infamous Democratic political machine rife with corruption. Rumors swirled that Crater knew too much, perhaps about rigged elections or judicial corruption, and someone silenced him before he could talk. A hit job by organized crime or political enemies wasn't out of the question. Some even suggested that Crater was about to betray Tammany Hall in a scandalous legal case, and the powers that be couldn't risk it. But if that were true, why no body? Theory 3. A love affair gone wrong. Crater was no saint. Gossip columns whispered about his affairs, particularly with young chorus girls, including Sally Lou Ritz, the woman he had dinner with the night he vanished. Could a lover, jealous or betrayed, have lured him into a trap? Or worse, was he caught up in a scandal that powerful figures wanted buried forever? In 1948, a sensational claim emerged. A man on his deathbed confessed to being part of a plot to murder Crater and bury his body in Coney Island. He claimed Crater had been killed over a woman and hidden under the boardwalk. The FBI searched, but found nothing. Then, in 2005, 75 years later, an even more startling revelation surfaced. A woman named Stella Ferrucci Good published a note left by her deceased stepfather, who claimed that Judge Crater was buried in Coney Island with the help of corrupt cops and mobsters. The story matched the earlier rumor from decades prior, but once again, no body, no evidence, only whispers. Judge Crater's disappearance became the stuff of legend. For years, people joked about him being the man who took a taxi to nowhere. In fact, pulling a Crater became slang for vanishing without a trace. The case stayed open for decades. His wife Stella waited, hired private detectives, spoke with reporters. But eventually hope faded. In 1939, 9 years after he vanished, Judge Crater was declared legally dead. So, what really happened to him? Did he escape a web of corruption before it closed around him? Was he silenced by political enemies? Or was it a crime of passion buried beneath layers of lies and time? To this day, no one knows. His disappearance remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in American history. And perhaps that's what keeps the story alive. A man steps into the night, a judge at the height of power, a life vanished. And all that remains is a question. Where did Judge Joseph Force Crater go, and why has no one been able to answer it? Because sometimes history doesn't leave behind answers, only echoes. And those echoes still whisper through the streets of New York, 95 years later. This was Epic Time Journeys, where history's mysteries come alive. Until next time, stay curious.